Alright, hello, I am here and I am recording this for my friend who wants to find out about storage systems and if they can integrate copper golems into their storage systems, which, as you can see behind me, yes, they can, and I'm going to explain how. I figured that this video could also be useful for other people. However, I'm not structuring it like a normal tutorial, and I'm just for the purpose of time, I'm not editing this, so I will probably make a few mistakes. But yeah, I'm going to explain a few things and see if my friend can understand them. Let's go. So, this first little thing here, I've just split it up into understandable bits. I'm going to talk about the process of hopper locking. So currently, this hopper is locked because I have activated this, which powers the hopper. Whenever the hopper is powered, it is locked. It doesn't say anything. There's no visible change on here unless you use a texture pack. There are some that do that. But currently, any items that I put in here, nothing can flow into this hopper, and because there's the chest under here, nothing can actually flow out of it. So I can put items in here and they won't flow out. However, if I then decide to unlock this hopper, it allows items to be drawn in, so it takes items out of this chest. At the same time that it's taking them in, it puts them out, so it looks like you've always got the same amount inside. However, this is filling up. And yeah, same thing if I put a bunch in here, they will gradually, well, this won't go down until these have depleted, because it's going, the items are going from here into here and into here. So this looks like it's got the same amount, but it is filling up. And there, now you'll see it's counting down when there's nothing in there. So that's basically hopper locking. I should mention that if I have items in this hopper and there is a unpowered, if there's an unlocked hopper below it, it does still take items from there. So items still can be taken out of it if it's a hopper. If it's a chest, however, it won't be. That's an extra little thing. And so this thing here is the exact same principle as that, where I have this chest here, I can put items in it, but none of them will flow out because this hopper is locked by this redstone torch that is powering this block, which is powering the hopper. So yeah, these two hoppers are both being powered, they're both locked, however this one is unlocked. So if I put any items in here, they will flow out of it. And down into this bottom chest. So now if I have items in the top of here and I unlock that, they will take them out of here, they will gradually flow through all of these ones all the way down into this chest down here. And once I turn it off, you might have a few sometimes will be left in this one. However, most of the others should all clear out into the bottom chest. So that's that, I think. Now, this principle can be used in a bunch of different things, but the most common one is storage systems, because they can be used very well in sorting systems. So where I have this chest here, there's a comparator here. Here I will do this version first, and I'll show you the extra one later. So you've got a comparator here, which is reading how many items are in this chest, basically. If I have a few items in it, it shows a power level of 1. If I have a few more in it, it shows a power level of 2. It's only when it reaches a power level of 3 that this piece of redstone dust turns on, which in turn powers this repeater, which in turn unpowers this redstone torch, which in turn unlocks these two hoppers, allowing items to flow through. So if I have a certain number of blocks in here, this will reach power level of 3, and it will allow the items to go down until it's reached a certain amount, where then it's back to power level 2. It locks these hoppers again, and therefore no more blocks will fill out. To be taken out here. I will show you now. So if I put in enough, it starts taking them out here, and you see now it's stopped. I will show that in better detail as I put more items in. So here we go. It gets to power level 3, powers that, and then once enough items have drained out, I don't know how long it will take actually. quite a few in there. You see they're all being taken down because currently these two are unlocked, so this one can take items from it. And once it gets to the point sometime soon, oh, there you go, it relocks. These ones get locked again, and so no more items can flow through, and so you've got a bunch in here. So yeah, you've effectively kept a stable number of items in this chest, which is very handy. So if I put any more in it, then it will go down into here, which is very useful. I can also put a block here, which basically makes it just 2 redstone dust signals instead of 3. So you need less blocks in here for it to unlock. So even when I've got that much, it's still gonna drain stuff out. Let's see, how much does it go to? Still there. So yeah, you can see that it's all just working away until it locks again, like it has done there. So there you go. So this system is very good because it can be replicated side by side, since when each comparator gives off its signal, if it reaches just 1 power level, then it will just affect that one and not the one next to it. If it gets to power level 2, it will go to this piece and this piece, and it will also go to this piece, but that doesn't particularly matter since it won't be triggering this system here. So I will show this, and this is very handy because then we can have different blocks in each one. So let's say I put a bunch of Hearts of the Sea into here. That starts draining because it unlocks there, and now you see it's gotten to that level where now there's a few down there. I can put some honeycomb in here. I'm gonna need some more honeycomb. One moment. Put that into there. And I could put some eggs into here. Now, because eggs can only go in stacks of 16, that means that you basically need less to make the system lock. But yeah, I've got whatever, 1 down there. There you go, and that one is good, I think. Cool. So yeah, now you've got a bunch of items here. So the principle of this is that you can have these chests can instead be replaced with hoppers, which, well, I will do that right now. We can replace these with hoppers. I'm going to put the eggs into there, the honeycomb back into there. And because these hoppers can I do? It mustn't work for eggs then. That's interesting. I've never noticed that before. Anyway, what I could do, in fact, to make it easier, wish I hadn't done that now actually, but anyway, there we go. I've still got it all sorted out. Yeah. As I'm just going to put hoppers above here. Yes, I know I'm using a bunch of extra resources that this could so be used less of. Yeah, I can have lines of hoppers here. Let's say I have... what am I doing? What am I doing, man? Anyway, you basically get the gist. You can have different items, at least I hope you get the gist. You can have different items in here that when you add more of them into the chest, that will take out that number. So if I put in more than 59, it will go back to 59. Put in one. So I can just keep putting them into here. And the useful thing about this is that I can I don't need to use the block. See, if it's something like Heart of the Sea, you're probably not going to want to collect a stack and 59 of them in order to do this. So what you could do is just get a stack and 58 of light grey terracotta, and then put 1 Heart of the Sea in. So that means that if you put any more Hearts of the Sea, that will automatically take that. I believe hoppers take out from left to right, so by being here and putting these over here, it will only take the Hearts of the Sea out. So if we add any more into here at any spot, it's quite fun actually to do that. It will always just take the leftmost one. Yeah, which is pretty cool. So then in that way you only need 1 item here, and I can do the same with all of these. 58. That one was honeycomb, so I'll let that all flow down. And this one was eggs. I don't know how many I needed for that. Keep it going. Screw it, put in a bunch. There we go. It was somewhere there, so it needs to be that, I believe. No, one less. There. I think that's it. Hold on. Sorry, I'm trying to figure this out. Okay, there you go. So now if I put in any more eggs, it will save that one. That's very nice. Okay. Cool. So now we've got our system. I'm going to set the time to day again, so I don't want any mobs infiltrating. I mean, there's already enough of them on the floor. So that's a fairly simple way to set out your sorting system. So, the purpose of all of this is because you can then use it with one of these guys, a little copper golem. So let's say we have our copper chest here, which we can come along and put our items in, or have a, like, this is like kind of our main room where we can access all our storage. We could have a chest here, which then outputs the items and puts them into this for this little guy to take. And in here we can put that same system. I am going to need those terracotta blocks, or I could get more. I'll just get more. You know what? That's fine. I'm trying to think of what I need to say. So yeah, if there's enough of those, we can drain until it's at 58, and then put one of the item in, which should, I'm going to get rid of, make sure there isn't any. I've just used light grey concrete as like a placeholder, but you can use a named block or something to do if you've already got light grey terracotta in your sorting system or whatever. Just something that's never going to get put into your sorting system, because if you do, it will kind of mess it up. So just make sure these are out of the way, just in the corner kind of thing. I can do the same here if I take 58 and a little bit of some other block. Let's go biscuits. Have some biscuits in there. And in here we can do eggs. Do that. How many do we need? I've already forgotten. This is how awkward it feels when it's not edited. You're welcome. What was it? I've already forgotten. 56? No, 55. And then X should drain out of there. And lovely. Okay, so we've effectively got, and I've got this now, where the hoppers can flow out of here. They can then flow into this storage system. Whoops, I have a honeycomb in there. But that should mostly be done, I think. Yeah. Okay. And once all of the storage in this, once this is basically filled up with eggs, then this hopper will fill up with eggs. Then it will say, no, I can't drag any more into there, so I've got to put them in here, and it will put the eggs into here. So it will effectively fill up like that. Okay. So you've got, yeah, your sorting system here. So what if I put some items, let's say I put some biscuits into this chest, I get them into there. This guy's going to take how many? 16, I believe. He's going to look in this chest and he's like, whoa, there's no biscuits in there. And he'll say, whoa, there are biscuits in here. Ain't that crazy? So he puts them in there and they will start going down into the sorting system until it gets to 1 again, where the hoppers then lock. And yeah, that's how the system works. You can see that one is currently taking out biscuits from it, and now it's back. And then we could, let's say, we get some Hearts of the Sea going as well. Let's try popping some Hearts of the Sea in for him to find. And let's say we also get some eggs. Where were eggs? Where were eggs? Were they in here? That's a bit silly, and that they're eggs. Where they go? Aha, there we go. Right. Get some eggs. So yeah, once I look, check your chest, mate. Look, look. Get to work. Come on. Nice. So yeah, that is how you can incorporate it into your builds. Is this any better than like the common sorting system of having like water flowing or hoppers along the top instead of all this copper golem nonsense? I mean, not really. It's honestly kind of impractical. It's not very, well, not impractical. It's just not as efficient as the other methods, which is absolutely fine, because it does, I reckon, look pretty cool if you have like a glass roof like this and you can see a bunch of copper golems all sorting out your items for you and then looking as they like enter your chests. I think that's a cool thing to see, to be honest. But yeah, so thanks, friend, for being here. I hope you found this useful. If there's anything you don't understand, you can still come talk to me. And anyone else who was watching this, I hope you also found this useful. Yep, I think that's all. Have a lovely rest of your day, and goodbye.